I just want to revisit the topic of comic books, the comic book community, and one big reason why comic books as an industry and as a community aren't that big. And it stems from the community, like the people that interact with the people who would be potential comic book consumers. Not everyone, obviously, but there's a loud, at least minority, but in my opinion, from what I've seen online and the way that I've done videos and what I've seen on, Reddit, what I've seen in innumerable areas on the internet, is that a lot of people who read comic books are extremely elitist and snobby and cocksuckers about this hobby, which is all it is, like about this thing that we all like to read. I have a problem with that because thankfully for me, when I started getting into comics, I had stumbled upon the part of the comic book community on YouTube that like just goes to the comic book store, picks up their comic books, and like with their shitty webcam video, they're like, hey, these are the comic books I got this week. What did you guys get? And they all used to like send video responses to each other like, oh, these are the comic books I got this week. And it was this really nice community. It seemed like everyone knew each other. It seemed like everyone watched each other's videos. It seemed like just a really cool community to be a part of. And I wanted to be a part of that. Now, had I started watching comic book videos and the first thing I stumble across is, the comment section filled with, ugh, you didn't even have Amazing Spider-Man 121 and you call yourself a Spider-Man fan? I'd be like, don't know about this one. That's like a $150 comic book or like whatever it was at the time, whatever it is now. I don't really care. The fact of the matter is still like, oh, these people are going to fucking look down on me if I don't have this comic book. Like if that was what I came into, I wouldn't want to read comic books. And the thing of the matter is, right, especially with this video I just made recently, I talked about this in the video and it was actually a decent bit of it, but I wanted to make a video specifically about this because I think it's an important topic for this community to grow. And for me to just even want to continue to make these videos, it needs to be understood that everyone is coming at this from different perspectives, that everyone has different amounts of knowledge, like that everyone isn't and hasn't been reading comic books since 1968, since fucking 1960, since 1964, since fucking 1938, and because of that, even if they have been reading for 10 years and they've read a ton, they still are going to not know every single thing that there is to know about DC, Marvel, fucking this, that, or the other. Even if they spent their entire time reading only Marvel comics or only even fucking a one specific character comic, like there's gonna be shit you forget. There's gonna be shit that you lose, you know what I mean? Like that you just you forget, like there's gonna be shit that you never really picked up on fully. And so if that person, right, this person who really should be like technically like an expert on this topic, on Spider-Man, for example, they come into a comment section, they say something, but they forget about this one specific issue of Amazing Spider-Man or Spectacular Spider-Man or this, that, or the other, where Spider-Man, I don't know, eats Mary Jane's ass, and somebody's like, I don't think, this, that, or the other, and they're like, aha, I will point you towards Amazing Spider-Man issue number 138, where Mary Jane's asshole was eaten, and it's just like, even just the way that I just did that just now was much more tactful and much more respectful and nice than the way that everyone does it, honestly. Like there's times where I post, like, not the videos that I make on this channel, but I make videos for my comic book store, and I'll post some of those videos because I think they deserve much more credit than they get currently. And I'll post those videos on Reddit or this, that, or the other. And like the way that these people go about replying to this video is like, it's like, ugh, who doesn't know this information? And it's like, to me, I walked in there, I recorded this video, you know what I mean? And I had to edit it. And the entire time I'm learning things. So like for me to like join, like I wouldn't want to go like and actually have discussions with any of these people on this subreddit because they're all shitty, or at least the people who comment and the people who like, it's like not even just commenting and saying like, who wouldn't know this, but also like disliking or like downvoting your post and shit like that. It's just not, it's not conducive to growing this community. And like I said previously, I want the comic book community to grow. I would like it to get to the point where you know, it's fucking Wednesday, and I can walk up to every one of my friends and be like, hey, did you pick up the new fucking issue of Batman? Or did you pick up the new issue of, like, Spider-Man or Secret Wars or fucking whatever that fucking, what's that shit called? Secret Empire? Like, did you pick up the new Secret Empire? Oh my God, I can't believe fucking Black Widow got murked. Can you? Like, that's what I want, right? I think that's what everyone in this community should want. Like, I don't understand, like, I wouldn't understand anybody who wants to keep this community small and wants to keep this community such an absolute minority. You know, like, there's so many people who like comic book movies. It's the biggest thing in the film industry right now. So why wouldn't you want everyone to, like, be a part of, like, the real deal, like, to read comic books and be a part of that? But the way that everyone goes about it right now is just not conducive to growing that community, and it's fucked up. You know, like, the way that everyone gets treated on the internet and shit like that, like, in these communities, in, like, comic book community, anime, manga community, like, these nerdy ass fucking cultures where, like, a good majority of the people just never learned, like, social skills, seemingly, where they certainly don't know how to use them online or think they don't need to because of the anonymity. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's one of those things. Or they're just, like, actually that much of assholes. Like, whatever the case is, either way, I don't appreciate it. And I think it's important that this changes. Like, it's important that when somebody comes at, like into a comment section and they're like, ugh, who wouldn't know this information? What a dumb video to make. It's important that we shun that person. It's important that we go to this person and say, hey, fuck off. Like, don't do that shit. Like, there's tons of people who aren't going to know this stuff. You know, if you actually would have watched the video, you probably would have learned a thing or two. Maybe even about just being respectful and being, like, a listening person. You know what I mean? Like, there's innumerable things you could learn in any of these videos. I'm specifically talking about my comic book stores videos. But what I'm saying is, instead of coming at the people making these videos and making the content that you all fucking consume, and instead of, you know, creating comments that sort of make people who would be interested in joining this community feel shunned and feel like, I don't know, like, outcast, and like that they wouldn't be accepted here. Instead, outcast the people who are cocksuckers and the people who make those people feel like that, so that we can grow the community with people who are, you know, much more tactful, much more nice, much more interested in fucking, like, conversation and discussion, and not just plain and simply, like, I don't know, vehemently going after people when they think that they're not as intelligent or they don't know as much or this, that, or the other. That's just me. I know that this is like this is the second video, essentially, like, because I know a good majority of the last video I made was about this topic, but I think this video needs to be made. I think this is a video that, for me to want to continue making these videos, I'm done with everyone, like, coming at my neck every 2 seconds. Like, it doesn't bother me because, like, I get, like, I don't know everything, but it's just like, I'm not asking for your opinions on how much I know about comic books. You know what I mean? And I'm certainly not asking for you to come at me in this way. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to say, hey man, like, this is like, maybe you're missing this part, you know what I mean? Like, where back in, like, issue this, you know, like, if you do it in a tactful way that doesn't come across like you're just being an asshole, then nobody's really gonna care, you know what I mean? But it's the way that people do it, it's the way that you write, it's the way that it's, like, contextually, it's the way that it comes across. So that's all I'm saying. You know, like, for this community to grow, which I want, everyone kind of needs to be a little bit more tactful, a little more nice, you know, a little bit cooler about the people who are trying to join, you know? So that's all I got to say. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. And take my advice. I'd really appreciate it if from now on you see somebody in the comment section, if it's fucking comic books, if it's games, movies, TV shows, anime, manga, like, whatever it is, if somebody's coming in the comment section just being a dick and saying, like, all this shit, like, just fucking start shunning them. Say, hey, asshole, like, not everyone knows that shit. Stand up to these, like, these people who are essentially bullies in my, you know what I mean, in my estimation. So, like, come after them and not the people who are trying their best to fucking, you know, join a community. You know, like, that's fucked up, especially for such an outcasted fucking community. Like, you should be, like, begging people to join, not outcasting them. I feel like it's sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like, oh, people don't fucking like us because we fucking read comic books, so we're just gonna push them away instantly before they can ever fucking do anything to us. Like, that's how we're gonna do it, or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, tell me what you guys think down in the comment section. If you want to, you can check out some of my other videos here on the side, including my podcast. We just had a really great episode. We talked about this topic. If you click on that, you can go to that episode. It's the newest episode, episode 33. There's timestamps in the comments and in the description of the video. You can click on that. It's on that description and click to that topic if that's what you want to do. If not, understandable. I wouldn't want to watch my podcast either, except it's actually really good. So check it out. Seriously. Thanks. Awesome. Cool.